You're watching the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. Two teams at 2-2, each looking for traction. UConn powers its offense with a physical ground game, with the defense tied for the nation's lead in sacks. Momentum up for grabs today. It's UConn and Buffalo. And welcome inside with Craig Hubbard. I'm James Westling. The big headline in this one, Buffalo without their starting quarterback, Taquan Roberson. Gunnar Gray gets the nod today. What does that do for the Bulls offensively?
Anytime you lose a player like Roberson who brings a dual threat aspect to your attack, you lose something big. But obviously with Gray, they have a player that has been in the program. And even though they lost a week ago, he made some throws that would have allowed them to win their game. So that offense is certainly still in capable hands.
For UConn, they lean on their running game. Cam Edwards has been phenomenal. Over 500 yards already this season on the ground.
Yeah, UConn is a zone-heavy run game, and Cam Edwards has a great feel for that attack. Great vision. He also has big play speed. 4 of his touchdown runs this year have been over 30 yards, and in the last 3 weeks, he has at least 20 carries in each of those games. Expect him to be in the 20s again this weekend. For Buffalo, they're going to have to counter defensively, and they have one of the most active linebackers in all of college football in Red Murdoch. He had over 150 tackles a year ago, and when you are that active, James, you've got a great feel for finding the football, running to the football, and wrapping up and tackling, and they're going to need to have him have a big day today as well.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this. 74 degrees with a light breeze, partly cloudy skies here at UB Stadium. Buffalo will receive the opening kick. UConn to blast it away. Both teams won 9 games a season ago, each 2-2, looking to capture momentum before league play starts for Buffalo. UConn's next couple of games are against FIU and then at Boston College. Victor Snow and Miles Greer back deep for the Bulls. It sails out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As we noted during the open, Gunnar Gray will get the start, making his 3rd appearance this season. His first game as the starting quarterback. He did see action late in the second half a week ago against Troy.
Yeah, he's a JUCO transfer, but was a part of this Buffalo program a year ago, so he's familiar with the offense. He's got a strong arm. Watching him at times, it's learning to take a little bit off of that, knowing how to kind of pace your throws. But he can certainly make it towards. You watched the end of that game a week ago. On that last drive, he made some throws that, had they been able to get to completion, could have put him in a chance to win.
He definitely gave him a chance. 1st and 10 from the 25. RPO on the outside, it's complete. Solid chunk, give him 6. Reeled in by Patrick Clax III, a redshirt freshman.
And that's something that offensive coordinator Dave Patnode had talked about early on, getting him some just high percentage throws.
Between the tackles, they hand it off to their bell cow, Al-J Henderson, plotting ahead for a first down. But the coaches, to your point, they want to get him in some rhythm offensively.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of work out the nerves. As you mentioned, he's been in some games. He's gotten some action. He's gotten some throws. Obviously, was in a week ago in a crucial situation. But getting that start now, let him kind of ease into the game, try to find a rhythm.
The running back, Henderson, is flanked out to the right-hand side as the slot wide out, an empty set. On first down, checks it down. It's complete for a gain of 5 to Victor Snow, who has been his favorite target this season. That's his 17th grab on the young year.
Yeah, Victor Snow, a big part of that passing attack. That was his 17th catch on the year, 3 touchdowns. Part of a pretty deep receiving crew that Buffalo has.
The series dates all the way back to 1939. UConn put a thumping on this Buffalo team a season ago. Could be a bit of a revenge game for the Bulls. They power it between the tackles right at the marker. It's good enough for a first down for Henderson. Low center of gravity. He is a powerful back at 5'10", 216 pounds. An injured Husky will pause the game momentarily. There's a look at Buffalo coach Pete Limbo. Went 9-4 last year. Tied the program record for wins by a first-year coach. They won the Bahamas Bowl. They had a 6-win jump from 2023, which was tied for 4th in the country. UConn defensive lineman Stephon Wright is down, a former 4-star recruit out of high school who has spent time at Arizona State, SMU, Texas Southern, and now UConn as we take a timeout. Early on, no score from Buffalo. Back here at UB Stadium in Buffalo, the 5th-year senior Gunnar Gray getting his first start of the season. See his numbers there at a JUCO Power San Diego Mesa. His 3rd year in the program. Did see action a week ago against Troy. It didn't get a lot of help from his receivers, over 100 yards off the board in drops, the coaches told us. Hands it off to Henderson. Sidestepping tacklers. Burst through for a gain of 6. A nice chunk on first down.
He came in last week right around the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, and he actually wound up kicking a field goal off of that drive. Most of it was done on the ground. Once he got a chance to throw, he came in that game pretty cold, and he really was kind of off target with his throws, though. And to your point, though, James, that last drive, he was on target. There were drops, so I think hopefully with a week working with the ones, a little bit better synergy with the receivers.
They have ventured into plus territory on this opening drive. Henderson is bottled up at the point of attack. A sea of Huskies making the tackle. Tyquan King, the middle linebacker, 5th-year senior transfer from Temple, has entered the chat. First team All-AAC a season ago.
A nice opening drive here from Buffalo. A nice job. Some short passes, as we've talked about, letting Gray get comfortable. Also a nice job running the football, putting in a 3rd and medium.
First 3rd down of the game for the Bulls at the UConn 49. Pressure. Gray gets rid of it quickly, and Snow reels it in to the UConn 41-yard line. Pitch and catch and a first down, Buffalo.
As you mentioned, it brought pressure, but I really like the way Buffalo picked that up. Number 5, L.J. Henderson with a nice block, allowing Gray to get that off.
With some tempo underneath. Spin move and a gain of 8 for Chance Morrow. He is spreading the ball around. That is the 3rd different receiver to catch a pass on this series.
Now working a little bit of tempo that they got that going. A nice job there, too, by Gray. Not being greedy. You haven't played a ton. took the underneath route. Good positive yards.
Manageable second down. Henderson stop and start, looking for a lane. They wrap him up from behind. Maybe a yard on the carry, not much doing. Antonio Harris Jr., the edge rusher, able to track him down.
Well, UConn's used to that. Buffalo's been working a lot of zone. Obviously, UConn defense used to seeing that as their offense as an outstanding job of executing the outside zone run game. So in position there to stretch that out, bring them down, and force another third down. But this one, 3rd and short. Bringing in extra help. 2 tight ends to the left.
Henderson, the lone setback. Snow in motion on the jet sweep, looking for the corner. He's tripped up, did not get there. Sideline to sideline. Devin Pringle, the transfer from Grand Valley State, with the tackle.
Yeah, on the sweep there, but look at all the white helmets there and allowing there on the edge Pringle, number 2, to be in position to make that tackle. Well defended, but where you see where you're at in the field here, kind of pushing the limits a little bit on terms of a field goal. And I think, to me, James, in these situations, always at the very least, you line up and see if you can get a freebie. You could force UConn offsides, but not surprised if they just go for it where they're at in the field.
4th and 4. Gray back to pass. Loops it down the boundary, one-on-one. Jarred loose, incomplete. Turnover on downs. It was intended for Patrick Clax III. On the coverage was Lee Millette.
Just an outstanding job in coverage. Watch the defensive back, never panics. Once he sees the receiver go for the ball, that was Pringle there on the coverage, doing a great job of finding the football, getting his hand up. Don't mind Buffalo kind of going for it there. I think a deep shot, though, on a 3rd and 2 is a little bit of an interesting call. But nice job after an opening drive. I think both teams can pull some positives from an opening drive. Buffalo moving the football, and then at UConn defense stepping up on 3rd and 4th down with big stops led by the corner, the redshirt senior, Devin Pringle.
Joe Fignano is the UConn quarterback. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, over 1,000 yards already through 4 games. A veteran leader. Started his career at Maine, transferred to UConn a couple of seasons ago. He is a steady pocket presence, and Cam Edwards is their lightning bug in the backfield, picks up 4.
Yeah, Fignano came out in the 2019 class, 7th year, so we're starting to see more and more of that in college football. So he certainly has been around, brings a lot of experience, not only in college football, but within this offense as well.
He was the starter at Maine, put up PlayStation-like numbers, transfers to UConn. He's the backup. Then he beats out Nick Evers for the job midway through last season, and he hasn't looked back, and he floats it to Victor Rosa, leaking out of the backfield to make it a manageable 3rd down.
You know what's interesting, and I think speaks a little bit to the program that Jim Moore is building, that you mentioned he beat out Nick Evers. Guess who their backup quarterback is? It's Nick Evers. We're so used to guys not getting jobs and hitting the portal and bailing. Nick Evers is still here, still a part of this offense.
He was the highly touted 4-star out of high school, an Elite 11 finalist who started his career at Wisconsin and Oklahoma. 3rd and short. All day for Fignano, hums it to the boundary, and it's reeled in by Shamar Porter. They move the sticks. It's a 1st down throw.
Yeah, Porter just driving the defender off the ball enough, knowing where he needed to get beyond those sticks, turned around, and Fignano, that's where he was going to go the whole time.
Stretch play, Edwards looking for a lane. Edwards pulling through tackles. A 1st down run of 11 yards.
Yeah, the more I watch Cam Edwards, the more I like him. This is my 2nd time seeing UConn this year. On the zone, watch it, the eyes, he sees the cutback, and once he does it, good acceleration.
Edwards again tries the left side, bashes into that wall up front for a gain of a couple. He is tough, 5'11", 210, redshirt junior. Already 4 touchdown runs this season, north of 30 yards. He is explosive.
Yeah, they have another back, Mel Brown, who usually pairs with him. He's kind of almost a little bit of the thunder and lightning. Mel Brown is not available, but Cam Edwards is really a driving force behind that run game. He could be physical, but also has good speed as well.
Edwards tattooed after just a yard. It'll set up a 3rd down for the Huskies, who won by 6 a week ago against Ball State, looking for back-to-back wins for their program. Their last 3 games have all been decided by a touchdown or less, and 2 of them in overtime.
They're in the 3rd and long here, and Buffalo was feasted last week defensively with 7 sacks against Troy. So we'll see here if they dial up some pressure on this 3rd and 7.
This is a Buffalo defense tied for the nation's lead in sacks with 16 coming in. On 3rd and 7, here comes the blitz. Fignano, too tall, overshoots his favorite target, Skylar Bell. It's incomplete, sets up 4th down and 7. Again, kind of in no man's land here at the 38-yard line.
And a week ago, you're going to see the pressure he's going to get. They pick it up, just nothing downfield, and he overthrows a little bit. They actually went for it 5 times on 4th down, and most of the time around this portion of the field. Interesting here that he's going to punt.
They went for it 5 times last week, and they converted all 5. High pooch punt. Straight up the elevator shaft. Bouncing around, and it's downed at the 15-yard line. But it makes it a long field for Buffalo. Midway through the first quarter, no score here at UB Stadium between Buffalo from the MAC and UConn. UConn coach Jim Mora, 9-4 last season, their first winning season in 15 years. But are you surprised that they punted there? Only a net punt of about 23 yards.
Yeah, just almost more working off of precedent, James, because last week, again, they went for it 5 times on 4th down. 3 of those were right around the 35-yard line. One of them was at the 43-yard line on the opponent's side of the field. So they were right in that sweet spot where they had a lot of success a week ago. So really more based off of what they did last week. I was kind of surprised that they did bring out the punt team there.
They brought out the punt team, and Buffalo has countered by bringing out a different quarterback. This is true freshman Jason Wright. Tries to keep it himself and has nowhere to go. Planted immediately up front.
Jason is a true freshman. Only had 2 reported FBS offers, one from Buffalo, one from Old Dominion. But the reason why they're going to try to work him in today is because he can bring a little bit of what they're losing with Taquan Robinson being out. And that means it's the dual threat kind of running quarterback option.
He's a speedster, runs a 4.5 40, but they said super raw. They call him a baby deer. Gray's back in, the seasoned veteran. Henderson drops it. 3rd down and long for the Bulls.
Even with that drop, just getting it off, they'll save some yardage there. UConn defense getting in, you see right around the edge. Number 1 smiling, and the number 10 coming in there, Taekwon King, to kind of really bring the pressure, but a nice job there defensively from the Huskies. And maybe now you're starting to see as they get him in his 3rd and long, why Moore decided to punt, feeling confident about his defense, maybe trying to flip field position a little bit, feel like maybe he can get the ball back around midfield. They got to stop here on 3rd and long.
This is where UConn thrives. They have elite pass rushers. They twist up front. Gray buying time, nearly throws an interception. It's 4th and long. Pringle was in the neighborhood, and Buffalo goes 3 and out, and this should be outstanding field position for the Huskies.
Jim Moore's been around a little bit. He's had some success. Maybe seeing why he decided to make that. That's the reason why we're a couple of 100 yards up in the air. He's down on the sideline.
Former head coach at UCLA, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks, over 35 years experience. Dylan Drennan on to blast it away. High spinner. Caught on the run. Trying to stretch and get the wall set and turn the corner out to midfield. We'll take a timeout. UConn has it 1st and 10 from around the 50. We'll see the Huskies offense. Can they get on the board? No score here at UB Stadium. Back here at UB Stadium, Joe Fignano trying to hit Skylar Bell on a deep crossing pattern. It's incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Well, Joe Fignano, the UConn quarterback, he has been around the block. 7th-year kid, kind of has that it factor, that Hollywood swagger to the way he plays. He started 2 for 3 in this one. On 2nd down and 10. Toss sweep to the outside, and Buffalo throws a blanket on MJ Flowers. 3rd different ball carrier for UConn, no gain.
Yeah, took a shot on that 1st down play. unable to connect now. This opportunity on this drive, a great field position, but putting him into 3rd and long. And again, we've talked about, see how Buffalo does, but very efficient getting after the quarterback. We've got 10 players on his team, James, with at least 1 sack, so it's been coming from a lot of different areas.
That last play was Deion Crawford, one of the top tacklers in the MAC. 3rd and 9, Fignano bouncing around the pocket, throws nearly an interception. Almost picked. It's 4th down, and UConn goes 3 and out. Solomon Brown, the transfer from Minnesota, with the pass breakup.
Yeah, good coverage there. Got a little bit of pressure, forced him out of the pocket. And 3rd down, not shockingly, he tried to find number 1, Skylar Bell, who's, along with Cam Edwards, probably one of the most important playmakers on that offense. And luckily, as you said, it was an interception. Could have probably been a lot better field position, and they'll get here unless they get a big return.
UConn coach Jim Morris said we have to sustain some drives, cannot avoid all these 3 and outs. It's been feast or famine for the UConn offense this season. But Buffalo will start this drive inside their own 10-yard line after the fair catch. No score, less than 5 to play here in this first session. Buffalo is coached by Pete Limbo in his 2nd year. Former head coach at Ball State. He was most recently the special teams coordinator at South Carolina, spent time at Memphis and Maryland as well as Rice. 11-6 career mark. Very much special teams oriented, but speaks to the discipline and the accountability within his program. 1st and 10, Gray hands it off to Henderson between the tackles, plunging ahead for 3.
Good 1st down pickup. Just talking with the coaches earlier in the week, their offensive coordinator, Pat Note, said we got to dent the line of scrimmage, and they got to get pushed, and doing a nice job there. That's a nice 1st down pickup. Again, you got to remember, they're without their starting quarterback, Taquan Roberson.
Gunnar Gray gets his first start. Hands it off to Henderson behind left tackle. Close to the marker. It'll be 3rd and a yard after a nice chunk of 4 or 5. The offensive line has been stout. They have one of the most experienced offensive lines in the entire country in all of FBS, and they've only allowed 3 sacks in their 4 games, fewest in the MAC conference.
Yeah, 3 of those guys returned from a year ago, and the center and left guard are new, but transfers that have played FBS ball. This is exactly where you want to be offensively. You got a new starting quarterback there in Gray, 3rd and short.
On the zone read, Gibbs to Henderson. Henderson with that tremendous effort to lean forward and get the 1st down.
And you had mentioned it too when UConn was punting, that they wanted to try to sustain drives. I think both of these programs have felt that their losses, a lot of it has had to do with both of their defenses being on the field too long. So Buffalo important as well to try to pick up 1st down, sustain drives.
The Buffalo defense was just absolutely gassed in the 4th quarter against Troy, so they could use a breather. Back to pass. Gray zips in his fastball to the boundary. He has targeted the redshirt freshman, Clax, several times in this 1st quarter.
No receptions coming into the game. But they're without one of their top receivers, Josiah Gathing, so got to find another option to spread the ball around.
On 2nd down, McMillan. Twisted down, forward progress to the 30. Should be enough for a 1st down. It moves the chains.
And that's a big one right there, kind of the story within the story. Nick McMillan's a big part of this passing attack. 2 weeks ago, he had a monster game, 7 catches for 117 yards against Kent State, James. Last week, 1 for 6 yards, but more importantly, he had several drops in that game, including one that very likely would have been a touchdown. So I think it's important for Buffalo and for Nick McMillan to get that catch early on, start to rebuild that confidence.
The coaches said he had a great week of practice. They put their arm around him. They didn't get on him, and he responded. Trying to cut it back against the grain. It's a gain of 5. Lamar Sperling, he's the backup today, with Birch and Shelton missing a deep but banged up Buffalo running back room.
And a good job by both him, really, and Al-Jay Henderson of just keeping their feet moving. UConn is not giving any initial push, but pressing the line, being patient, letting a seam, and then getting good first down run that very much kind of mimics what Al-Jay Henderson had done a few plays ago on that second down, now putting him in a second and medium.
How would you describe Buffalo's offense and what they're trying to do?
Yeah, I think, they're a little bit more kind of diverse in the way they're going to attack you.
Between the tackles, nice run. A nifty move by Lamar Sperling.
And by I mean diverse, like you see UConn on the flip side. They're very heavy outside zone. You're going to see a little bit of man gap scheme. You're going to see some zone, but there, nice job getting off the football. Just great feet from Sperling.
A new set of downs for Buffalo. Half-minute left in this first frame. Sperling again, tap dancing in the backfield, looking for a lane. A gain of 2 makes it 2nd down and 8.
See it again. I think that front for UConn's doing a nice job of not giving up much ground, but you got to get off blocks, and those linebackers got to get downhill. A little bit better job there of getting Sperling, because 2 plays ago, same thing kind of happened, and he was still able to spring forward for positive yards. So both of these teams right now, James, battling back and forth.
It's a defensive slugfest after 1. Nobody scored here at UB Stadium in Buffalo. The second quarter coming up next with Buffalo on the move. A defensive battle after one. Both teams averaging less than 4 yards per play. Maction on ESPN Plus next Saturday. League play officially underway with Western Michigan at UMass, Eastern Michigan at Buffalo here at UB Stadium, then Central Michigan at Akron, and Miami of Ohio at Northern Illinois. Those games all kick mid-afternoon on the ESPN Plus family of networks. Second down and 7 for the Buffalo offense without their starting quarterback today. Taquan Roberson out with an injury, left the game late in the third quarter a week ago with his team up 17-0 after almost 3 quarters of play. Troy came storming back and upset Buffalo 21-17, and we have an injury on the field. It looks like a Buffalo offensive lineman. And that is the center, Jake Tim, who is the anchor, a real football guy. The coaches love their center.
And one of those 2 new faces, a transfer from LIU.
Three preseason All-MAC offensive linemen on this Buffalo group up front. And the backup center is a true freshman, Thomas Barr. Now they do rotate a pair of left guards. This is a team without their quarterback, without their backup running back, Messiah Birch, without one of their top wideouts in Josiah Gathings. It's a media timeout, so we'll step aside and check on the Buffalo starting center when we return. No score, early minutes of the second. Buffalo's depth being tested early. They will move James Carrington, who rotates in at left guard, over to center. So they are down to their backup center and their backup quarterback early in the second. Local kid from right here in Buffalo. A sixth-year player. He's been around.
Yeah, he's not listed as a backup center. A true freshman is there, but that's not always the case. Usually you put your 6th best guy in there, and Carrington, as you mentioned earlier, rotates in, has game action. We'll watch the exchange here on the shotgun snap.
It's on the turf. Buffalo put out the fire. A loss of 6 on the first exchange, the first snap from the backup center. On the receiving end, the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think it was more on Alj Henderson, got in there a little bit too early. It was on target. Alj Henderson trying to set up the block, wound up stepping in between. You're going to watch Henderson as he starts to move. It looks like he clips it there with his hand trying to get into pass pro. So wasn't so much the center snapping it back there, but an experienced guy just getting in the way.
Low line drive punt, angles towards the sideline, beautifully done. And it's down. We'll say it hopped out around the 7. So UConn will be backed up from the shadows of their own goalposts. It has been a field position battle. Both of these teams have had really terrible starting field position outside of one series for the Huskies.
And that last one, they wound up having to punt. Now they're going to have to really put their work in at 7, as you mentioned. Nice punt there. They've shown some big playability to this offense. See if they keep it on the ground to get Edwards in the backfield, their talented running back.
This is a top 16 offense in the country coming in. Almost 500 yards per game. Edwards out to the 12-yard line, a gain of 4. And Edwards is down for the Huskies. And this is a scary sign for UConn. Already 3 100-yard efforts this season. He's coming off a career high of $194 and 2 touchdowns a week ago against Ball State. We'll take a timeout and check on the UConn, the centerpiece of their offense, when we come back. UConn running back Cam Edwards heads to the tent after this last play, nursing an apparent ankle injury. He was able to hobble off on his own power. Over 500 yards already on the season, and 6.5 yards per carry. On 2nd down and 5, Fignano quarterback draw, and Fignano has the first down. But what does that mean for UConn without their star running back?
We also got to remember, too, Mel Brown, who's their second leading rusher, a big part of their offense, not in. But here, Fignano doesn't have Cam Edwards, does a nice job. The field opens up in front of him. He's not really a dual threat, but he can certainly move. Smart to tuck that football, move the chains. They feel like they've got a deep running back room, and it's getting tested now, though, James.
Next man up is number 22, Victor Rosa, who had a career-high 111 yards in a game last year against Army. They flip it out. That's the first catch for Skylar Bell.
Skylar Bell had a big game against Buffalo a year ago. 6 catches for 153 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's a fun player to watch, maybe one of the more underrated wide receivers in all of college football. And as you mentioned, here in the second quarter, first time he's kind of touching the ball. And especially, we'll see what happens with Edwards. Hopefully he's okay, but if he's not able to come back soon, I wouldn't be surprised if he continue, even on quick screens, find ways to get number 1 the football.
Bell is coming off a career-high 14 grabs a week ago. Rosa gets downhill and powers to the 32 to pick up a first down. UConn moves the chains after they went 3 and out on their last possession.
Rosa from Bristol, Connecticut. Place familiar to ESPN fans.
Fignano, Rosa on the outside, a one-cut run. Out of bounds after a solid chunk of 6. Now we see some UConn tempo.
They get a little bit of success. Pick up the pace, but they're, again, Edwards is out, Mel Brown's out, but they're also really confident in Victor Rosa, a player of good feet. You watch him within that scheme, especially that zone scheme. He does a really good job of good vision as well. Big back, 5'11", 210.
They flank out 3 wide to the right-hand side. Bell trots in motion. In the hole, he's open over the middle, and he's got it. And he has underrated speed. Darts out of bounds. The quick hitter, a big gain for the Huskies and a first down.
Yeah, they brought him in motion, and one of the reasons why he's so successful is a good route run. You're going to see him, watch him right in the middle of your screen. He just sits down. Here you go, give me the football. I'll do the rest to get us the first down. Does a lot of the little things well.
Started his career at Wisconsin, where he was very productive in a run-heavy scheme. Fignano takes a shot, gets hammered inside the 40.
When you're 6'4", 225, you can be a little aggressive as a runner. But again, you would in no way label Fignano as a dual threat, but he's actually very functionally mobile. We've seen it now in this drive, 2 runs.
And those Buffalo middle linebackers, they will make you pay. Red Murdoch and Deion Crawford, the top 2 tacklers in the MAC. They are tackling machines in the middle. 2nd down and 1. This has been the best drive so far for the Huskies. Trying to open up the scoring. Stretching left. Look at the power. Oliver Lundberg Coleman from Sweden with a first down run to the 28.
Oh, nice job again against the zone. You see that nice job, the offensive line, a lot of green there, then you just see the tough running from Lundberg Coleman. And what we're seeing here, James, is they've been confident about their running back depth and showing it here with both Rosa and Lundberg Coleman being utilized on this drive, and a couple of runs as well from Fignano, picking up the slack with Edwards out.
New set of downs for the Huskies to play with. 1st and 10. Coleman again. Powers his way to the 25-yard line. Played at RIG Academy in Sweden. He won the Nordic and the European Championships. MVP honors, a redshirt freshman over here in the States playing for UConn.
And a lot of times when those players come over from Europe, they're usually playing in leagues with players older than them, players that are already college age, even some adults. So they're usually, a lot of those players that come over from Europe usually have already kind of faced some bigger bodies and some older players as well. So a little bit of experience in that regard.
On 2nd down and 7, they trot Bell in motion. Fignano pulls it back, rifles it. Bell at the 10. cutting inside the 5. It's a touchdown. Yards after catch. UConn's on the board. It's 6-0.
Talked about the route running. This is a great job of just setting up the DB right out of that break. Trust me, it was a nice move. He put that foot down, and then afterwards the ability, as you mentioned, James, to kind of run after the catch. And it's a 90-plus yard drive right there by UConn. A way to respond. Remember earlier in that drive, they lose their star running back and found ways to still get down the field, and ultimately one of their other key pieces, Skylar Bell, capping it off.
93-yard drive on 11 plays, and the point after is money. UConn strikes first midway through the second. It's low scoring. The Huskies are on the board. They lead it 7-0. Fignano hitting his stride, now 6 for 9, 58 yards, and the touchdown to Skylar Bell.
I'm out on the field.
Well, UConn offensive coordinator Gordon Samus just drawed up a beautiful drive. 10 plays, 93 yards, took a lot of time off the clock, 5-12. That is UConn Husky football to a T.
Yeah, a lot of different players involved. Again, earlier in that drive, they lose number 0, Cam Edwards, who had to go off the field. Oliver Lundberg Coleman with a nice run. Victor Rosa with a nice run. Fignano, not only with his arm, really keeping that drive alive as well with his leg. So well-rounded team effort there, finished off by Bell.
Clacks the third, back deep for Buffalo, into the end zone for a touchback. What do we need to see from Buffalo to respond to the Utah touchdown?
Yeah, just get some consistency. Obviously, again, operating without their starting quarterback, Taquan Roberson, who is out. We saw when this game first started, they opened up with a nice drive with some high percentage throws early on. Just got to get back there. Now remember, their last drive ended because of a mishap on a snap. Got a new center in there in number 54, James Carrington.
So they're without their starting center. They're without their starting quarterback. Gray rolling the pocket, zips it to the sideline, and it's hauled in. An acrobatic catch. It goes for a gain of 5. Patrick Clacks, the freshman, on the receiving end.
Yeah, one thing that Gunnar Gray has, he's got some arm strength. He can zing it. They're putting him on the move and putting it on clacks.
2nd down and 4. Henderson, patient run, slips through to get right at the stake. He'll be inches shy. It's 3rd down for Buffalo.
That's one thing Henderson does well, as you mentioned, the patience there. So there's been a few times today he's looked like he might be bottled up. Still finds a few ways to get a couple of yards.
Buffalo led the MAC in scoring a season ago. They led the nation in scoring over the last 4 games of last season. They've been battered by injuries to start the 25 campaign. Direct snap to Henderson. Henderson following his blockers. With forward progress, he has the 1st down. Got shoved backwards, but it's good enough to move the chains. A look at Gray's numbers, 7 for 10 today, 43 yards, hit on his first 4 attempts. Run play between the tackles, twisted down. Sperling on the carry. Gets spilled by Vincent Carroll Jackson, the vocal leader, the defensive tackle up front for the Huskies defense.
Yeah, Vincent Carroll Jackson, player actually signed with Nebraska coming out of high school.
On 2nd down. Running room. Lamar Sperling off to the races. Touchdown Buffalo. "63-yard touchdown, a career long for the sophomore from Akron, Ohio."
Nice counter from Buffalo coming off of the UConn score.
After a 10-play, 93-yard UConn drive, that was a haymaker. Jack Howells on for the point after. Slips it through the right upright, and we are deadlocked at 7 with 6:21 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, UConn being aggressive, brought a run blitz there, and it was 32 versus 32. Omar Diomande is going to get in there, and he's able to make him miss. And once he gets to the 2nd level, you see the nice stiff arm and a lot of green for Sperling to take it to the house. See the stiff arm there, but really they brought pressure and got penetration in the backfield. But one of my notes there on Sperling is quick feet. He was able to make Diomande miss in the backfield. Once he broke through the line, he saw the one player he had to beat with the stiff arm and took it all the way. And a nice way there for Buffalo to counter. So after kind of a quiet 1st quarter, both of these teams, James, trading blows.
And Sperling is the change of pace back, and he's very capable. Had 86 yards and a touchdown as a redshirt freshman last year against UMass. A 5-play, 75-yard drive ties it at 7.
A little bit more quick hitting than the way that UConn took it.
Ensuing kick out of the back of the end zone. And UConn's defense, they have been susceptible to explosive plays this season. UConn's offense mistake-free all year, not a single turnover. Only 4 other programs and some impressive company: Alabama, Houston, San Diego State, Temple, and UConn, the only 5 without a single turnover 4 games into the 25 season.
Flip side to that, they've only created 3 though. So their +3 offense has been outstanding, but defensively I'm sure they'd like to create more turnovers. But the offense certainly doing their part with outstanding ball security.
Cam Edwards out with an ankle injury. Fignano going to the air. Blanket coverage over the middle. Marquise Cooper, the fifth-year senior, preseason second-team All-MAC. It's second down and 10 after the incompletion. Fignano has started 6 for 10, 58 yards, has the touchdown, which came on the last drive, a 25-yarder to Skylar Bell. Edwards is back in the game at tailback. Corkscrews for a gain of 3. Third down and 7.
Obviously, that's great to see. He's a big part of this offense. Coaches say he's kind of a hard runner, more of their bruiser, but again, 4 touchdowns, over 30 yards on the season. And one of those, I mean, he hit over 22 miles per hour, so he's got some giddy up and go as well.
Third and long, this Buffalo defense, top 2 in the MAC in scoring defense, third in the league in total defense, and they bring an extra blitzer. One-on-one, flag comes in. Pass interference on this near sideline.
There is no foul in the play, pass interference, the 4th down.
They pick up the flag. No foul, and it's 4th and 7.
You don't see that much. I love when the officials get together and talk. And it was aggressive, but I'll tell you what, that's fine. If you're going to let them play that way, I'm all for it. So Cooper there into position. Buffalo brought pressure. They picked it up, but obviously with that pressure, Fignano had to get rid of it quick. Cooper there in position.
Marquise Cooper made 2 really nice plays on that defensive series. Now Buffalo's blocked 2 punts in their last 3 games, and they almost had another. May have gotten a fingertip on it. It's down to around the 50. Buffalo's offense will start this drive in plus territory, by far their best field position of the day.
Yeah, regardless, James, it affected the punt, whether they got a piece or it was just the pressure. See him bring it. It's going to be coming from the punter's left. See if they're able to get a piece of that. Oh, number 4 does. He gets a piece of it. But not a clean block, but again, it affects it, and it's going to set up the offense in plus territory there. So one of the things that Jim Moore has said, playing on the road, we need to play great special teams. Here early on is Buffalo with a special team play, helping to set their offense up with good field position.
Pete Limbo, the Buffalo head coach, has a special teams background, as does his defensive coordinator, Joe Bowen, who's one of the youngest in the country at 32 years old. They are taking a shot downfield. It's incomplete. Trying to get Nick McMillan involved in some of these home run hitters.
Yeah, actually, if anything, James, number 13, Cam Chadwick, was actually in better position. Okay, that was a little bit overthrown. Talked about McMillan. He's been very productive, really talented receiver, just coming off a rough week last week in that loss. He already has 1 catch and then taking a shot downfield at him there.
He was sensational 2 weeks ago against Kent State, 7 for 117 and a touchdown, all career highs. His season last year was cut short early on due to an injury. Movement up front, flags fly.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Matt Pakowski is the referee for this afternoon's contest. Makes it second down and 15. Now Buffalo is off schedule. That's a big part of their offense, staying on schedule.
Yeah, went from the block punt being in plus territory to the penalty pushing them back onto their side of the field, and as you mentioned, putting them in a second and long. Talked about Buffalo getting after the quarterback. UConn's been pretty good as well. Last 3 games, at least 4 sacks in each.
Gray will hand it off. Henderson, north and south, gets the lost yardage back from the previous penalty to make it 3rd and 10. Buffalo is without one of their top targets today, Josiah Gadings, a late scratch due to an injury. Victor Snow has been quiet. Just a couple of catches for 14 yards in this first half. He's their top receiver on the season. It's 3rd down and 10.
Showing pressure from up top.
With time in the hole, he throws it behind his intended target. It's incomplete. Gray wanted the aforementioned Victor Snow. Their quiet, steady leader at wide receiver, visibly frustrated. That could have been a big gainer.
Yeah, I mean, UConn brought pressure, brought more than Buffalo had there to be able to block it. Gray quickly got rid of the football, but as you mentioned, a little bit off target there. Had an open receiver. Beat the rush with the throw, but off target. Great opportunity off that blocked punt. Kind of missed there.
Buffalo goes 3 and out with a penalty in the mix. High towering punt backing up UConn for a fair catch at the 9-yard line, drifting out of bounds. 4:25 to play in the second, tied at 7. The defense is standing tall in this first half. You've got the one explosive from Buffalo, the one sustained long 93-yard drive from UConn. But outside of that, it's been the defense is really the story.
Well, we'll see, because the last time they scored, they were right around this. They went 93 yards. Now it would only be 91, so they're actually helping themselves. And we'll see here if they could take advantage of the +2 from their last scoring drive.
Just trying to fill up the stat sheet. I'm sure that's the Jim Mora way. A guy who's very detail-oriented, holds his players accountable and his coaches. Said when we lose, it's on everybody. It's not just on the players. 1st and 10. Cruz, the running back. Make it Rosa, I should say, out to the 11.
One of the things about UConn that I really like about this offense, they are deep at tight end, really deep at tight end. That play, they were actually 13 personnel, had 3 tight ends in the game. Probably like a little bit more production off of that type of a formation. But they've got a wealth of talent at that tight end position. They'll use them throughout the game. At some points, even if I watch them on film, they'll have 4 tight ends in the game.
They're without tight end Juice Vereen, so on that formation we saw Hansen, Honig, and Churchy. That pass a little bit high, and Bell hit at his ribs after a gain of just a couple.
Yeah, it's a completion, but that's one, if you're in Fignano, you got to get down, because we've seen already, James, what Bell can do after the catch. But you make him have to elevate for the catch. It gives the defender time to get downhill and wrap up. You want to allow him to be able to catch that and run, because he certainly has the tools to make one defender miss in space. So that seems like a little thing. It's a completion, but you got to be on target on that to let your playmaker make a play after the catch.
Kobe Blackwell with the stop. It's 3rd down and 5. And UConn today 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. Fignano dropping straight back, zips it, and it's off the fingertips of his tight end Alex Honig downfield. The former TCU quarterback. 4th down.
Right, look at the pocket. He's got it. He's scanning. Goes to the right spot looking for Honig. Just a little bit too much. That's 2 throws in a row that in the area code, but not in the right mailbox, so to speak, and forcing the punt team back on the field. We'll see here. Buffalo got close last time.
This one away much cleaner. A high bounce takes a UConn hop and rolls down inside the 40 to the 38 is where Buffalo's offense will take over. Getting close to the 2-minute timeout, tied at 7. 2:47 to go before the break. If you're Buffalo, how aggressive are you on this series?
I mean, let's play ball. Really, really aggressive. I mean, you got timeouts. You got the two-minute timeout. You got decent field position here. Both of these, I mean, we got a little bit of a spark there. Then it's smoldered a little bit since then. But Buffalo for a great chance here towards the end of the first half to fire up this offense again still without their starting centers on the sideline and without their starting quarterback.
Gray, play fake on the outside, one-on-one to Snow. Look at the juke move.
And there you see Gray, what he can do. He can get rid of that football quick. He can deliver it with some velocity, and then Snow, they've been able to hook up a few times and put it right on number 0, and as you mentioned, the ability to make defenders miss.
And they finally get Snow in a one-on-one opportunity with some space. 1st and 10. A flag is out on the boundary.
False start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And that's the wide receiver, Snow. That's the 2nd consecutive drive now for Buffalo, a team that normally isn't penalized much. Back-to-back false starts on their last 2 drives.
Yeah, frustrating when it comes to the receiver, too. Far away from the ball. I was thinking, maybe the new quarterback, new center. There's really no excuse for the receiver way out. Maybe just other than he may be a little amped up after that previous play.
And that costed them a play because it winds the clock down to the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
We are tied at 7. It's 1st and 15 for Buffalo when we come back to UB Stadium.
Vic Snow is like the Energizer Bunny, and every week he's got the highest GPS numbers on our team, and he just seems to be able to go, and finish games the way you want. Not everybody is wired that way.
3 catches for 34 yards. Had a 20-yard reception 2 plays ago, but right before the 2-minute timeout, he got flagged with a false start. So it's 1st and 15, Buffalo. Trying to take a lead into the locker room. Ground and pound, a gain of 4 with Henderson. When you watch Victor Snow, the wide receiver that Coach was noting there, what do you see?
He's kind of similar. He's almost like their version of Skylar Bell. A little bit like smaller but quick, good route runner, really dangerous after the catch. See a lot of similarities between those two.
5'8", 170 preseason all-league. UConn tosses Henderson aside.
Matt Hoffman getting in there, doing a nice job. UConn getting penetration, the big man up front. Obviously have to play a big role. We saw Stephen Wright, number 92, get hurt a little bit earlier.
And Hoffman is a load, has tremendous length and size off the edge, 6'5", 250. Buffalo's been okay today on third down, 3 for 7, but this is their longest of the afternoon with less than a minute to play before the half, 3rd and 13.
Situation where you're out in the field, maybe if you can kind of get half of this, maybe you think about going for it on 4th. No need to get it all right here.
Gray, backside pressure, almost intercepted. Off the hands of the middle linebacker, Tyquan King. He was covering Henderson. It's 4th and 13. Now Buffalo has to punt.
Smiley is coming around the edge. You see him getting close, and he's trying to get rid of that before Smiley gets there and forces him to throw behind his target. You mentioned King almost with a chance there.
Dylan Drennan on to punt. 4th punt of the day for Buffalo, looking to pin UConn deep. Crushes it into the end zone for a touchback. Well, that drive started really well for the Bulls. They picked up that 20-yard completion to Victor Snow. They were humming, and then a penalty completely threw them off schedule.
Yeah, both teams have had opportunities right around midfield to start drives and not been able to take advantage of it. I think here, if you're UConn here, James, I think you kind of do what you do best. You run that outside zone, maybe you hit a big play, you start to amp things up here in the last 30 seconds.
This zone rushing attack very much inspired by the late 90s Denver Broncos teams. Offensive coordinator Gordon Samus said he turns on YouTube videos of the founding father of this system, Alex Gibbs, and he'll just listen for hours trying to improve the way UConn operates. Edwards, east-west run going nowhere.
I think that kind of sets the tone for how they're going to handle it. You get a big run there, you say, all right, let's put our foot in the gas. Here, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of just keep it on the ground again. Cam Edwards has 4 touchdown runs of over 30 yards, so you give it to him. He's certainly capable of popping it, but you don't want to get too aggressive here and let Buffalo roll in with some momentum off of a defensive play.
UConn,
they don't even have to.
They'll sit on the ball and send us to halftime. A 7-7 tie here at the break. Both teams held below 200 yards in the first half. It was a field position battle. UConn will have the ball to start the third quarter. With Craig Hobart, I'm James Westling. Halftime from UB Stadium. Bell with the UConn touchdown. Sperling had a long run. This was the score for the Bulls. We're at intermission here in Buffalo, New York. Halftime here between the UConn Huskies and the Buffalo Bulls. We'll be right back with more after this. We're at the midway point between UConn and Buffalo. We'd like to take this time to let you know about the ESPN app. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or simply log in with your television provider. First half highlights and stats when we return to UB Stadium at the University at Buffalo. We'll be back after this. here at the half in Buffalo, all even at 7 apiece. Injuries, the big story in this first half. UConn running back Cam Edwards tweaked an ankle, and so UConn, they've had to get creative offensively trying to get others involved.
Yeah, but on that drive that they lost Edwards, they still managed to go 93 yards for a score, and Buffalo's been dealing with some injuries as well. Came in today without Taquan Robinson. Their center went down during the game, but here for UConn, starting that drive, you see number 22, Victor Rosa, getting downhill. Then Pignano finding his star wide receiver, Skylar Bell, over the middle. That would not be the last time we would hear from him on this drive, but spreading the football around, Oliver Lundberg, Coleman with some tough running, and then Pignano would take it back to the air to Bell on the outside with a nice route, making a few defenders miss and taking it in to get UConn on the board first. And then Buffalo, though, would quickly respond with Lamar Sperling with a nice move in the backfield. Follow that up with an outstanding stiff arm, then he would take it to the house 63 yards, and Buffalo would quickly counter. But outside of that, James, it's really been the defenses. Looking at it, I think the big thing for UConn coming out of that first half, only 1 of 5 on third down. Both teams have also kind of squandered some opportunities with good field position.
Buffalo outgaining UConn 177 to 130. It's been, for the most part, penalty-free, but there was a costly false start that knocked Buffalo off schedule on their last series. Neither team's turned the ball over. I mean, it's been a clean first half.
Really, the last 2 series, penalties right around midfield, false starts, pushed them back and really kind of hurt what could have been potentially good drives, at least with where they were starting.
So our game here, UConn and Buffalo, are tied at 7 here at UB Stadium. Elsewhere around the MAC, Central Michigan takes down Eastern Michigan 24-13. Ohio by 15 over Bowling Green 35-20. Toledo all over Akron 34-3. Miami, Ohio taking on Lindenwood. They lead by 17 in that one. And at the half, San Diego State and Northern Illinois, a field goal apiece in that contest. Here in Buffalo, all tied at 7. Backup quarterback and backup center on the field for Buffalo. For UConn, they were without their starting running back a good chunk of the first half, Cam Edwards. The second half is coming up around the corner. 7-all here at UB Stadium in Buffalo.
Well, we have a ton of respect for Taekwon. You know, he was here. He gave it his all. I mean, his career started out with a bang, you know, against Utah State. You know, takes us down and we score. And then, you know, he gets hurt. He blows out his knee when he's scrambling towards our sideline. And it was, you know, really unfortunate. He fought his way back. And, you know, this is a guy that is in his 7th year. It hasn't been easy for him. But he has just had great perseverance, you know, and that to me is just the indicators of a really tough human being.
That is UConn coach Jim Mora talking about this guy, Taekwon Roberson, who was the starting quarterback 2 seasons ago for UConn. Then last year he was the backup to Avery Johnson at Kansas State and actually led K-State on a scoring drive late in the game in a big win for the Wildcats at Colorado mid-year last year. So he transfers to Buffalo. He's off to a remarkable start this year, gets knocked out of the game in the 3rd quarter last Saturday against Troy, and he is out indefinitely. Gunnar Gray getting the nod for the Bulls today.
Yeah, Roberson, if you remember, actually was a 4-star prospect way back in 2019, signing with Penn State out of high school, and wound up bouncing around a little bit and showing flashes. And as you mentioned, you know, maybe you think about what happens towards the end of that game a week ago if he's able to kind of stay healthy. But they lose him towards the end, lose that game. Now coming in with Gunnar Gray, but we talked about Gray's been in this program for a few years. Very successful junior college quarterback. We need to just kind of continue to compliment him with the run game here in this second half.
What's the difference in this game in the second half on both sides? We're tied at 7 here at the break.
Yeah, I think, you know, listen, for Buffalo, we talked about little things, some off-target throws, some penalties to push things back. You got to just play clean football. You got to take advantage of some of these opportunities where you're starting drives at midfield or even in your opponent territory. I think for UConn, just kind of continue to get that run game going. And same thing with Fignano, just making some of those, has some chances for some plays, at least may seem simple, but you got to connect, let your players make plays once they have the ball in their hand.
UConn bringing it out. Stop and start at the 20 and getting to about the 25-yard line. UConn will have the football first to start this second half. That was Terrence Smith on the return. UConn averaging 4.8 yards per play. Fignano 7 for 13 passing, 61 yards, a touchdown. But UConn on the ground, they've really been able to, they haven't yet unleashed their ground game. 4.9 yards per rush, 69 rushing yards at the half. First and 10, play action. Fignano ejected from the pocket. Fignano, his 3rd scramble today, and this is close to the first down.
Yeah, nice job by Fignano there. They wanted to kind of come up the left sideline on a pass there. That play wound up going all the way to him rushing to the far right. But putting him in a second, we'll see if they take advantage of it. Maybe a little play action.
9-yard gain, 2nd down and 1. Edwards picks up the first.
Decide just to go ahead and move the chains. And I think, you know, you talked about the run game not being able to kind of get going is with that zone attack. And number 11, that's Juice Vereen down, part of that deep tight end room. But with this outside zone, you've almost got to, even talking with the Buffalo Bulls defensive coordinators, it's almost like playing the option because they'll run it, you stop it, you run it, they stop it, and then that one time somebody's not in their gap, a back like Edwards sees it, hits a big play. So you got to have a little bit of patience too. So you got to keep sticking with it. And if you do, odds are there's going to be a big play, a big run somewhere down the line here in the second half.
Yeah, we heard mention of UConn being an option team from both sides. Even UConn's offensive coordinator said we're an option team without being an option team. Terrence Smith has checked in. Number 15, a wide receiver. He's in the backfield. They said he gets the ball about 80% of the time when he's out there. Nearly dropped it. Trying to spin outside the numbers. A gain of just a yard.
Yeah, he was a high school quarterback who was really more put your best athlete at quarterback, and he did most of his damage with his legs, and he's kind of been a little bit of a slash player for them. And I think he's interesting because when they do utilize him in the backfield, even though they swung him out there, he can kind of maybe pick up some of the slack that they lose with Mel Brown not in there. But as you mentioned too, I think when he's usually in the game, he gets the ball, and I think maybe he's still young, he's still learning, but trying to create opportunities because he could fly when he does have the ball and he gets some space.
Buffalo's defense without a TFL today, but it's been bend but don't break. They've managed this UConn option attack well. Fignano, largest hole of the day. And it's the quarterback who's not known as a rusher. He's down to the 25-yard line, the 4th carry of the afternoon for Fignano.
Yeah, he's going to look for Hansen, his tight end. He's taken. There's nowhere to go. There's plenty. I love the decisiveness. Just tuck it and go.
Lundberg Coleman muscling down towards the 20, marked down at the 22-yard line on a right side run, and it's 2nd down and 8.
You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes, but if you're a quarterback and you're decisive and you get green and you tuck it and go, you'll make big plays.
Coleman on a cutback. Hit hard at the 16.
Yeah. We talked about using some of that running back depth. Oliver Lundberg Coleman coming over from Europe, doing a nice job just getting downhill, squaring up those shoulders, putting them a very manageable 3rd down. And you would think after last week and all their 4th down attempts, 2 downs here, don't need it.
Lundberg Coleman. Ball popped out late. It's a loose pig. A fumble at the end of the run inside the 10. No signal yet. And UConn maintains possession. That would have been UConn's first turnover of the season.
See Coleman here running. He's going to lower. He's got both hands on the football. He was down, so. Lots to do about nothing there, James.
It's clear as day.
But when
1st and goal.
When you're UConn, you don't put the ball on the ground much. It's news.
1st and goal from the 8. UConn knocking on the door. Edwards back in the game at tailback, pulling, lunging. Touchdown, UConn.
Ruling on the previous play is a touchdown.
From up here, though, James, looked like he had outstretched it. Obviously, officials down there with a much better view right down the line. And, yep, no question about it. They're going to let him kick.
No replay. UConn lining up for the point after. And the extra point is through, and Edwards has his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. UConn, the opening drive of the 2nd half is a score. A nice drive by UConn to open up the second half. Take us through this Edwards touchdown.
Yeah, well, you see Cam Edwards there just fighting downhill and then outstretching clearly, breaking the goal line. Nice job kind of getting vertically in the air. Make sure that they punched it in and got an assist from one of his running back mates, Oliver Lundberg Coleman, with some tough running, and also the honorary member of that running back room, Joe Fignano, had a big run on that drive that was over 70 yards. It was that scramble from Fignano that really kind of ignited that drive and allowed UConn to take the lead.
And UConn has been able to neutralize Red Murdoch, one of the top tacklers in the country, the middle linebacker for Buffalo. Ensuing kick out of the back of the end zone for the touchback. But Murdoch, not one of the top 5 tacklers for Buffalo in this game here today.
And it's rare to see UConn put the football on the carpet. It's rare for Red Murdoch not to be amongst the leading tacklers. Again, over 150 a year ago. You know what's interesting, though, it's still got a lot of football. We haven't seen the freshman come in much. We've seen Fignano make some plays running the ball from the quarterback position for UConn. Obviously, that's something they're missing without Taquan Roberson. See if they try to, in the second half, work the freshman in a little bit along with Gunnar Gray.
Buffalo's first drive of the second half. Trying to get Victor Snow involved. And Victor Snow has a gain of 9. That is his 4th catch today. It's 2nd down and 1 for the Bulls. Some misdirection. Henderson, he is patient, he is burly, and he has a first down out to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, for the most part today, when they've worked Henderson between the tackles, he's been getting +3, +4 yards.
He's up to 43 yards on the ground. They sprung Sperling loose for a 63-yard touchdown. The only score for Buffalo so far. New set of downs for the Bulls. Gray, plenty of time, uncorks it deep down the boundary, and it's knocked away. Cam Chadwick on the coverage led the team with 5 pass breakups a season ago.
You can see why, again, he was challenged a little bit earlier in this game, once again with the outstanding position. Both times they've targeted him vertically. He has almost kind of been running the route with the receiver. Good job there, just being on the inside, extending that hand. Well played. 2 really nice pass breakups there from the redshirt sophomore. 3-star out of high school.
Buffalo's quarterback, Gray, connected on his first 4 passes, but he's cooled off. On the screen, they get it outside to McMillan. Scampers ahead for a gain of 4. Gray started 4 for 4 in the game. He's now 10 for 17 passing. Sets up 3rd down and 6.
And there's nothing, listen, get those high percentages, get him out to the edge. We've seen, especially Snow, we've seen him be able to make defenders miss.
Three wide to the right-hand side. That's Snow in motion. Buffalo's 3 for 8 on 3rd downs with a guy in his grill, has to float it. Snow coming back, reels it in, then he is swallowed up.
Omar Diamande doing a nice job just closing. The pressure is going to force Gray, who's got a really strong arm, to have to float this a little bit. And you see number 32, Omar Diamande, get in there and be able to make the tackle and force the 4th down. So good defensive team effort. The pressure doesn't allow the quarterback to step into the throw and get it there with the velocity that it needs. And Diamande making a tackle in space.
It's a fake, straight up the chute. Buffalo has the first down. They rumble inside the 40. Pete Limbo pulls a rabbit out of a hat.
I said earlier, Jim Morris said we need to play great special teams on the road. Right now it's Buffalo is playing a great special teams. Just snap it. There's a big space there. Listen, they were even a safe look. They weren't coming after it. You got to know that part of the field. You kind of got to expect it, but you talked about that special teams background that Limbo has. They've now gotten a piece of a punt, and special teams, a fake punt, converting.
White was the ball carrier, 1st and 10 at the UConn 39. Four-man rush. They swing it out. Henderson makes one man miss. Can't get away from the second wave. Picks up 7 yards. And Buffalo stays on schedule with less than 8 to play in the third.
Yep, smart there by Gray. Just get it down. Get it to your playmaker.
Henderson looking for a lane. Slides down at the 27, moves the chains. It's a first down run for this Buffalo team that's been to 4 bowls since 2019, won the Bahamas Bowl a season ago.
Again, very similar result to what they've been doing when they've been getting Al-Jay Henderson downhill between those tackles. 3, 4, 5 yards. That one picking up the first down.
With their backup center and their backup quarterback on the field. 1st and 10 in the red area. Henderson stutter step, and then he is driven into the turf, planted, maybe got a yard on the handoff.
Yeah, good call there defensively by UConn. They worked Malachi McLean down to the line. He was coming up, kind of didn't really allow that play to stretch, and defense there to make the play.
2nd down and 9 for the Bulls. Henderson. He's been a workhorse on this series. To the 21 for 3. It's a manageable 3rd and medium.
Again,
Buffalo's 3 for 9 on 3rd down.
Just keeps working. You know, I heard a quote once that, you know, consistency looks unremarkable in the moment, but it's what success is built of. They keep working at it. I think eventually it's going to pay off because they're not getting dropped. They're getting positive yards. I certainly keep working Al-Jay Henderson between those tackles like they have been. That offensive line is getting just enough push, as the offensive coordinator said, and we need to dent the front. They've been doing that up front.
Buffalo's averaging just a hair over 5 yards per carry. 3rd and 5. Henderson runs into a brick wall. No gain on the carry. And now it's 4th down and a decision to be made for head coach Pete Limbo. Do you kick it or do you go for it? They will trot out their special teams unit.
With no gain on that. You know, you get that down to maybe 4th and 1, but obviously we've seen this is a game where UConn scores, Buffalo answers, but outside of that, there's been some stretches where the offenses are struggling, so get some more points on the board. We'll say the wind swirls, pretty magical kick, but the wind swirls a little bit more down at that end that Buffalo was in.
38-yard attempt. The season long for Jack Howes is 39 yards away, and he puts it right down the boulevard. 14-10, our new score. UConn on top. Buffalo answers the UConn touchdown with a field goal. They trail by 4. We'll see the Huskies coming up next. Back here at UB Stadium in Buffalo, a 12-play, 54-yard drive leads to a Buffalo field goal. It's 14-10 UConn with Craig Hobbert. I'm James Westling. Less than 5 to play here in this third quarter.
Well, James, today we've seen Buffalo make a few special teams play. UConn needs to kind of equal that ledger a little bit.
A look at Buffalo quarterback Gunnar Gray making his first start in the Buffalo uniform. 12 for 19 today, 86 yards, completing 63% of his passes. He's been mistake-free. No turnovers in this football game. Howes to blast it away for the Bulls. Squibs this kick. It's picked up inside the 10. Terrence Smith. He can be a game breaker. Gets body slammed shy of the 30. The UConn offense, when we come back, looking to stretch their lead and make it a 2-possession game with less than 5 to play here in the third quarter. Both teams have had the ball once here in the third quarter. UConn engineered a touchdown drive. Buffalo answers with a field goal. Both of these offensive lines very good in pass protection. Tied for 17th in the country with just 3 sacks allowed all year. 1st and 10 for UConn. Now Fignano only had 1 passing yard on that first drive of this second half, and they hand it off and pick up 7.
Yeah, a little bit different. Usually a big zone, just kind of going man there, getting downhill, changing it up a little bit.
Edwards got dinged up in the first half, missed a couple of series with an ankle injury, but he's played the majority of the snaps here in this second half. Fignano kept it, fooled everybody, picked up just a yard. He's the leading rusher for the Huskies today.
Yeah, he's made some good decisions. Again, some decisiveness there. Again, that was a hard pull from Edwards. He kept it. Got a little positive yardage there.
Coaches love his toughness. Bootleg across his body, hits his man. It's the tight end, Juice Vereen, the NC State transfer. A very high ceiling out to the 50-yard line.
That was a really nice job there from Fignano. He was looking for Romello Murphy. It was taken away. He got his eyes back inside, got the completion.
Edwards as UConn with some tempo, bashing his way to the 45-yard line, just pinballing ahead for a gain of 5.
Yeah, he's looking healthy.
Murdoch the stopper for the Bulls. 2nd down and 5. Fignano on a shoulder roll, zips it to the sideline, low throw, and it's complete. Hauled in by Shamar Porter, his second grab. It's good enough for a first down. They continue to move the chains.
A nice job by Porter getting underneath that.
UConn firing on all cylinders on this drive, and Fignano looking to take a shot. Loops it out of bounds. A flag does come in. The intended target was Bell. Cooper in the neighborhood, and Solomon Brown in coverage.
Holding. Defense, number 7. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That is the first defensive penalty called on Buffalo. Another first down for the Huskies. Knows the football just inside the 30. Looking to string together back-to-back scoring drives. Coleman plows left to the 26. What's working for the Huskies on this series?
Well, I mean, Fignano's been playing really well. Sometimes he loses his accuracy on the move. We've seen him make 2 nice throws on the move and then continue just to get the ball downhill. Working with Cam Edwards, now Flowers.
Setting up the screen. Wiggling towards the marker. Takes a village to bring him down. That's John Nider, redshirt sophomore. His 7th grab of the season. 2nd down and 1.
A good blocking out on the edge by Chris Parker as well, number 13. When your OC is a former O-line guy, you better block as a receiver.
This is 3rd down, and Flowers did not get there. Kobe Stewart makes the tackle. Who's top 10 in Buffalo program history with 12 career sacks. A loss of 2. It's 4th and 3, and UConn will try to stretch their lead to 7 with a field goal. Chris Freeman is the kicker. Laces are spun, kick is airborne, and it is right on target. A 40-yarder, a new season long. 1 yard shy of a career long for Freeman. And UConn, they answer the Buffalo field goal with 3 of their own. It's 17-10.
Yeah, with that loss, I really think, and especially with Buffalo kicking that field goal, the previous one, there was no hesitation there. We talked about how aggressive the Huskies were a week ago on 4th down. Haven't seen that today, but the right move there. Go ahead and get that back to 7.
They have a really unique offensive scheme. How would you summarize what their offense looks like?
Listen, it's based off that outside zone, and it's power run. Again, I've talked about the depth that they have at tight end. Now, they've got some tight ends like Juice Vereen who can certainly catch the ball as well, but when you go 4 deep at tight end and you can put in packages where it's 13 personnel, 14 personnel, really, I mean, they're a run-oriented team, and we've seen Fignano as well, what he can do. Again, would never label him a dual threat, but I dare you to underestimate him when he has to run with the football.
And I agree, they're definitely a run-oriented team, but because of that, they've been so successful this season through the air. Top 25 in passing yards on the season. And Vereen, the tight end, had a big catch on that series. Buffalo's bringing this out. The freshman Clax. A hurdle. And he's out across the 25 to the 27. Buffalo will try and keep pace with the Huskies, down by a touchdown. Their last drive resulted in a field goal. They've had one explosive on the ground with Lamar Sperling, who sprung loose a 63-yard touchdown run, their only touchdown in the first half. They have one explosive pass play, a 20-yard completion to Snow. Pretty even today on the total yards. UConn at 244, Buffalo at 231. Neither team has turned it over. There's only been 3 combined penalties. It's just back and forth. Rock solid. Sperling bouncing off tacklers. Leaping to the 43-yard line. He has been really nice in relief of Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to what they had been doing with Aljae Henderson there, just giving it to Sperling and showing the good feet. Getting a big gain there, but they've been really successful. We talked about running downhill between those tackles. Again, it hasn't been, that Sperling one's kind of been one of the bigger runs amongst it, but it's been productive and positive. They need to continue to stick with it. They may be trailing. UConn extended their lead back to 7, but it's still very much a close game. No reason to ever deviate from what you're doing. You need that run game to help complement your backup quarterback, Gray, who's in there starting today.
They're also down to their backup center. Sperling tries to cut it back, runs into traffic, and picks up just a yard. They'll give him 2. It's 2nd down and 8. Less than a half minute to go here in the third session.
So got to try as well. He's been involved in pockets, James, but Victor Snow 0, even if it's quick screens out to him. And then number 3, Nick Coleman. He's been a big part of this offense this year as well, trying to get him more targets in that fourth quarter.
Buffalo will sit on this 2nd down and 8 and take us to the 4th and final quarter. UConn 17, Buffalo 10. It is close here at UB Stadium. It's anybody's football game. Lamar Sperling was Mr. Football in the state of Ohio 3 years ago in high school, and he has had a huge game, a new career high, 101 yards.
Yeah, he's made the most of some of his touches we saw there. The nice move in the backfield and the stiff arm. That was Buffalo's first score, getting him downhill. The moves, the cut. A nice big gain there here on this drive.
Start of the fourth quarter, Buffalo with the football. A gain of a yard for the aforementioned Sperling. Third down for the Bulls. Down by a touchdown. 7 carries, 101 yards, a staggering average. A 63-yard touchdown run will certainly help that number.
It's a good way to boost it.
But to your point, he is quick, he is twitchy, and he is on the field for 3rd down and 6. Big play for the Bulls. Gray on the outside, throws it, batted. Is it picked? Incomplete is the ruling on the field. Almost the first takeaway of the game.
Trying to work the tip drill, looking there for number 11, and it goes up in the air and just, you had it initially, and when he hit the ground, it just jars loose.
Tremendous play by Donovan Branch, the linebacker who got his paws on it, and then Devin Pringle almost with the interception. It's 4th down. Buffalo has to punt, 4th and 6, and UConn will have the rock. Now, the last time Buffalo lined up for a punt, they faked it. This time they will tee it up. Into the end zone for a touchback. UConn trying to expand on their lead when we come back to Buffalo. UConn quarterback Joe Fignano doing it with his legs today.
Yeah, he has been impressive, and he's been decisive when he needed to run. Here, getting out on the edge, tucking it, getting it something positive. Nothing there. Again, you see he doesn't hesitate. Sees some green, doesn't see an open receiver, tucks that football. That was a big run on the scoring drive. And he's actually, even with Cam Edwards, the outstanding running back, Fignano is the one leading him on the ground.
UConn as a team over 6 yards per carry. There has not been a sack in this football game. First and 10, UConn. They lead by a touchdown. First minute of this fourth quarter. Fignano got hit in the face. Sidearm throws incomplete. Wanted Skylar Bell. And on the coverage was Kobe Blackwell.
Yeah, he's mentioned there was a hand. Looked like he got a piece of the face mask there. Nothing called, but Fignano standing in there, kind of looking a little bit like Ben Roethlisberger, just kind of shaking him off and making that throw.
Well said. There have not been a lot of penalties in this game, but that was a clear miss. Second down and 10. Between the tackles, Edwards. They're yet to spring him loose for a big one. Gain of 4 sets up third down. Demetrius Ballard, the tackler, the edge. At 6'6", 260 pounds, just a redshirt freshman.
Oh, he's been quiet a bit, especially in this second half. Skylar Bell, I think it's a perfect time, even if it's just a quick pass out to the flat. See if he can make somebody miss. He's going to be tight to the formation.
3rd and 6. Play fake. Trying to check it down to Vereen, and he dropped it. It was a congested area. It's 4th down, and UConn goes 3 and out.
Big stop there for that Buffalo defense.
Coming into this game, the Buffalo defense had forced 6 3 and outs in their last 2 games. 4th punt today for UConn's Connor Stutz. Faircott at the 33. Timeout on the field. UConn 17, Buffalo 10. Buffalo looking to take down the Huskies for the first time here at home since 2013, trailing by a score. A low-scoring grinder here at UB Stadium in Buffalo. These teams nearly dead even in yardage. Both teams have been held below 100 yards passing. 86 for Buffalo, 86 for UConn, and Jason Wright will come onto the field, the true freshman, and try and provide a spark with his legs. He's lined up at quarterback number 7 for the Bulls.
We saw him once in the first half, his second appearance in the game.
on first down. Keeps it himself. Jitterbugs up the middle and works his way forward for a solid chunk of 5.
Yeah, using Victor Snow there as a little window dressing, bring him across on the sweep, but he takes it. Kind of plot ahead. Probably a little bit of running room. I think he probably had his head down like, I just want to get positive yards, hold on to the football. Keeping it. He could throw, especially he's got a quick release, really strong watching him back in high school in that short to intermediate range.
He has 4.5 speed, and this is his 3rd snap of the game. He took 1 snap back in the first quarter. On the zone read, trying to get the edge. And it's 3rd down and 1 after a gain of 4. You can see the burst right away.
Yeah, and he got some help there from his receiver. 0 Victor Snow doing a nice job blocking on the edge to put him in his 3rd manageable, and he'll bring Gray back into the game on his 3rd down. I think see how they do, but job well done by the freshman there, getting him in a 3rd and short.
Picked up 9 yards on his own. 3rd and 1. Buffalo just 3 for 11 on 3rd downs tonight. There's the rushing numbers, $175 for the Bulls, 162 for the UConn Huskies. And Buffalo's going to think this one over. They burn a timeout there first.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
You and I were talking about during the break, James. We saw the rushing numbers, but the passing numbers, that's where all the action is on the ground, because not much coming through the air for really either team.
17-10, UConn on top. Well, next week in the MAC, a fantastic slate with Western Michigan at UMass. That'll kick at 2:30. And then Eastern Michigan at Buffalo. So Buffalo's got back-to-back home games. Central Michigan at Akron. And Miami, Ohio at Northern Illinois. All at either 2:30 or 3:30 Eastern. Maction on ESPN+. 3rd and 1. There's a look at Jim Mora, the head coach at UConn. What a tremendous job he has done with this program. I mean, they were really struggling before he took over. Now Jason Wright is back in at quarterback for Buffalo. He's the better runner, the true freshman. Keeps it himself and snakes his way up the middle to move the chains. Another solid chunk, a gain of 4.
And that kind of makes sense. I was on that 3rd and 1, taking him out and putting in Gray, and after that timeout, though, after he had gotten him in that 3rd down situation, letting Wright just keep it. See, nice job, sees it, nice job blocks. He's 78-67. Give enough of a crease there.
A backup center, James Carrington, the 3rd, is anchoring the offensive line. Wright twisting forward for a gain of 8. And this is the 3rd string quarterback for Buffalo coming into the season. They have been battered at some key positions. They lost Jake Tim. He walked out of the tent right before the half in a boot, so he's out for the rest of the game. But Buffalo, somehow, some way, leaning on their mistake-free football, they are in this thing and have 2nd down and 2, down by a touchdown.
Yeah, using the freshman to kind of mimic what they're losing with Taquan Roberson out and what he could bring with his legs, but then 2nd down, Gray checking back in.
They run it with Henderson. Alj hasn't had much all day. Loses a yard. It's a UConn TFL.
And 94, Matt Hoppin doing a nice job there, kind of just getting pushed, playing on the Buffalo side of the line of scrimmage to kind of really not let that play get going as Alj Henderson checks out of the game.
And Henderson is nursing that right shoulder. It went completely limp. 3rd down and 3. Gray delivers a dart, but it's dropped by Snow.
That's a little reminiscent of the end of the game a week ago. You can look at that play and you can kind of assign blame to maybe being a little bit too high, but it's also one a talented receiver like Snow needs to be able to come down with.
UConn had a big TFL, a tackle for loss on 2nd down, then that drop on 3rd down, and UConn's top 40 in the country, almost 7 TFLs per game. This is 4th and 3 for Buffalo. They're going for it in plus territory. Pressure up the middle. Gray pumping, looping towards the boundary, one-on-one, off the hands of Victor Snow and incomplete.
Come on, Brinson, he hung in there. Looking for Snow. It's just, you see Brinson, he's kind of losing his footing, but he never really grabs or holds on. And listen, remember earlier in the game, James, they picked up a flag on him.
Yep.
So they're letting him be aggressive. They've called it consistently. That left arm is in there, maybe a little bit early, but I don't have a problem because that's the way they've decided to call the game. And it was a really good job by Brinson because his head was down. He was stumbling, still found a way to kind of make a play and force a turnover on downs. And we'll see. Now, listen, the way that Buffalo struggled a bit offensively. If UConn can work the ball down here just inside their own territory, they got a really chance to put Buffalo backs against the wall here in this fourth quarter.
The officials have held on to flags on those one-on-one coverage battles. And Cam Edwards, a gain of 9 between the tackles.
I like it again. We talked about how well they run that offensive feel for Edwards in that run game. Here in this situation, I kind of just keep working it to him.
UConn leading by a touchdown. Fignano hits his man in stride, working their way inside the 35. Shamar Porter, pitch and catch, and they're down to the 32-yard line.
Just getting Porter there on the slant, getting it out of his hands quick on target.
Tight set, Fignano. Nobody home. No gain. Maybe lost a yard. So it goes down as a sack on paper for the defensive tackle, George Wallow, the 6th-year senior.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to have another nice gain, but Wallow coming off the block and the big man there to swallow him up. Kind of really, I think he helped save another big gain there from Fignano on the ground.
2nd down and 11. That's the first sack of the game, and it's just a yard. Edwards starts outside, cuts it back, and gets stuffed on the interior after a gain of 2. It's 3rd and long for the Huskies, and this is outside of Chris Freeman's range. His career long is 41. His season long is 30 yards. He did boot through a 40-yarder earlier, but this would be about 48 from this distance.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you go, how close you get, maybe, again, we've talked about last week how aggressive UConn was on in 4th down, so you don't need to get all of it here. You get a bit closer, you also get back into field goal range.
UConn 3 for 9 on 3rd downs tonight. Setting up the screen, Edwards, run out of bounds, ushered out.
Jalen McNear doing a great job. There were 2 blockers out in front on that. And he splits them both. They're going to try to set up the screen. You're going to see 2 big men out in front. Watch McNair, he beats him to the angle. Bad angle, a little slow getting out there. He doesn't let it happen and force a field goal attempt, as you mentioned, really kind of stressing maybe his limit.
7 for 8 this season, and his kick is angling out of bounds. He punted, and they mark it out at the 9-yard line. A crafty special teams play, and Buffalo will take over from the shadows of their own end zone. Well, expect the unexpected when these two teams get together. Check this out.
The direct snap back on that, lining up for a field goal. He's hit from 50, but obviously you get to that range, it gets tough. The wind swirls a little bit more down on that end, so interesting call there by UConn to kind of do that. I'm feverishly going through the Rolodex in my head of all the field goal attempts I've seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Quite interesting, and really kind of interesting move as it pins Buffalo back instead of really kind of taking a shot on a long field goal.
Between the tackles, Sperling, not much there. Yeah, when you think fake field goal, you don't think fake field goal that resulted in a punt.
Yeah.
2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain. But love the call. It would have been right around a career long. That was about a 51-yard try for Freeman. Instead, they punted and they pin Buffalo deep inside their own 10. Flags are out and they blow the play dead. And it's a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 21. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
It's the 2nd time today on a receiver. Honestly, that's unacceptable, and especially here in this situation, pushing you back. But it's been one of those little things. It's been a pretty clean game, but 3rd time today, 2 receivers. The previous 2 times, it really kind of hurt those drives, and we'll see how it affects this one now, putting them behind the chains on 2nd down.
4th time that Buffalo's been penalized. UConn has a clean sheet. 2nd down and a long 12. Passing situation for Gray, and it's out of bounds. Just chucks it into the UConn sideline.
Taekwon King came on pressure, and he got there just as he threw it. King, you see right at the top, he's going against Sperling, just works the swim move, and he hits Gray just as he's throwing it. Talked about both of these teams have been pretty effective at getting after the quarterback this year. Really hasn't been the case because most of the action has been on the ground, but there, pressure from the redshirt senior King.
And Aljay Henderson is an elite blocker from his running back position, but he was out on that last play. He checks back in at tailback. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12. They get the play off, and Gray looking right, zings it. A diving attempt on the boundary. It was caught, but he's out of bounds. And it's 4th down, and the fake field goal punt pays off for UConn. Buffalo punting from the shadows of their own end zone, and the clock has become a UConn ally with less than 6 minutes to play, nursing a touchdown lead. A boomer of a punt. Takes a Buffalo bounce, and they down it inside the 25-yard line. That was a monster.
Don't often say wow on a straight punt, but he got all the way up in the air. You want to talk about, if you're Buffalo, and again, special teams has been their ally today in terms of getting our hands on the punt earlier in the game. The fake punt there, that's going to go in the stat book as just a punt, but that really helps your team because that is just majorly flipped field position. And it's going to really force UConn to have to kind of work hard if they want to extend this lead. So that was a big play there, a 3rd big play on special teams from Buffalo.
Connor Stutz make it Dylan Drennan with that punt for Buffalo. Edwards swallowed up. It's a huge loss. A loss of 5. And it's 2nd down and long. Malik White, the tackler.
He was quickly in the backfield. Both these programs have talked about their defenses got a little fatigued late in the game. Both of them kind of looking fresh here in the 4th quarter.
Second and 15. Rolling the pocket. Fignano hums it. It's incomplete. No flag out. On the coverage was Jalen McNair, the safety.
Yeah, McNair had a big tackle on the previous drive. There in coverage. Good job there defensively for Buffalo, just spacing. Didn't give Fignano a lane to run, and there in coverage as they set down to third. Again, Buffalo has been really good at getting after the quarterback.
Buffalo trying to force a 3-and-out, 3rd and 15. UConn 3 for 10 on 3rd.
Buffalo not showing pressure.
Fignano checks it down. Nider popped well short of the sticks. 4th and 8. And UConn will have to punt with 4.5 to play.
The Bulls, despite kind of being really strong at getting after the quarterback, decide to drop 8 there. It works out. He's been quiet today, but when they needed it, Red Murdoch with a nice tackle in space, wrapping up. And again, I got to go back to that booming punt that really just kind of totally flipped field position. It kind of looked like where UConn might be in a great position and momentum to get great field position, maybe tack on more points. A great punt leads to an outstanding defensive possession.
Buffalo was coming after it. UConn gets it away. This is returnable for Snow. He's dangerous. And Snow, tattooed shy of midfield. He's going to be marked down at the 43-yard line.
I'll say this too, we talked about Pete Lembo, his special teams background, how well Buffalo's played on special teams. They went after it, as you mentioned there, James, but it was great. It was discipline. They couldn't get there. Nobody ran into the punter. Good angles, smart play. Tried to get after it, couldn't get there. Didn't draw a penalty off of it and get their offense back on the field.
Last time Buffalo had the ball, they went 3-and-out, backed up the shadows of their own end zone. Then they had a 67-yard punt from Dylan Drennan to completely flip the field. They force a 3-and-out, and here they are after a nice return by Snow. Starting this drive, Buffalo from its 43-yard line. Less than 4 to play, down by a touchdown. Gray. It's reeled in. Snow has it at the 30, and multiple flags are out on the play.
Seen Gray be a little off target today, not there. A little bit of a window, he drills it in there. There's some pressure there, steps in, right in that window, he goes up. We'll take a look here at the targeting.
Throwing on the play was a completed catch. Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 14. That play is under further review.
So we'll take a look. We definitely have a defensive player. I think the thing is the indicator. Did he launch? Looking for Snow. He goes up. It's that for I was a little bit quick there. Looking at number 14.
Snow was absolutely crunched after the catch.
It's Tyrese Mills we're looking at. Going up was Mills in the bottom of the screen. I think he just kind of hits. Now, again, defenseless check. There was contact at a head or neck check. I don't think there's an indicator there. I actually think they're going to, we'll take a look. Oh, listen.
After review, the ruling of targeting is overturned. It was a completed catch. It'll be first down.
And that was quick, too. Nicely done by the replay team.
You had defenseless, you had head or neck. You did not have an indicator there. So, again, nice job. This officiating crew now include the replay booth in that. They've done an outstanding job today.
And players across the sport are adjusting. Targeting calls are way down this season across the board in college football. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Buffalo offense. That was the best throw of the day for Gunnar Gray, making his first career start here at Buffalo. 1st and 10 from the 30. Gray locks in on his target. He's got him. And scampering down to the 20-yard line, Clacks the third, the freshman, a gain of 9. They won't give him the first down. It's 2nd and very short. Tempo from the Bulls. Setting up the screen. Snow has the first down. Popped at the 19.
Just getting it out quick, kind of an extension of the run game, getting it one of your playmakers, Snow, see if he can run after the catch, but most importantly, moving the chains. Obviously, with the timeout you got available, the 2-minute time, you're in great position. Obviously, you need to get into the end zone.
2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Snow on the end around. Snow keeping his balance, spinning his way out of bounds. They mark him out at the 12.
And he's making a play because Antonio Harris, he's back there. He comes underneath him. You get good blocking, a little bit blocked downfield from McMillan, and what looked like may have been a big loss there because of the athleticism and playmaking skill of Snow, who's putting his fingerprints all over this drive right now. He's able to elude the penetrating defender and get him in a nice 2nd down here.
And Buffalo perfectly fine taking this down to the 2-minute timeout. 2nd down and 2 when we come back. Buffalo is on the move. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 12-yard line. We've got a banger here in Buffalo. Buffalo has engineered a nice drive, most of it through the air, 37 passing yards, 8 rushing yards on this possession. Second down and 2 after the 2-minute timeout from the 12-yard line. Henderson straight up the gut, has the first down. It will be 1st and goal for the Bulls. The Bulls have been effective in the red zone this season. 5 touchdowns, 3 field goals on their 8 red zone trips. Down to 90 seconds to play. Henderson zigzagging inside the 5. They mark him down right at the 5-yard line, and UConn calls a timeout.
That's, you know, Buffalo operating on the, listen, we just want to tie this game up, or even go for 2, go for the win. I think at home you probably try to tie it up, but you see them not really pressing because they want to try to do what UConn is now trying to do with that timeout, give themselves potentially a little bit of an opportunity to get the ball back with some time. But I like the call too. They've had some consistent success throughout the day with running those backs in Henderson and Sperling downhill between the tackles. With the timeouts, you got Buffalo. I still think that's in your tool bag. I would not go away from it again. They've done that, gotten downhill between the tackles, 3, 4, even 5 yards. They're just 5 yards out. So Buffalo's done a nice job in this drive here, putting themselves in a position where they got all their options at their disposal.
This drive started for Buffalo with 3:52 on the clock. Down to 1:16 after the UConn timeout. 2nd and goal. Misdirection. Henderson plotting. Stacked up at the 4-yard line. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Second charge timeout. UConn. This will be a 30-second timeout.
UConn burned the timeout. They're down to 1. 69 seconds to play in the game. It's 3rd and goal. If you're on the Buffalo sideline, what do you draw up for a huge play?
Listen, UConn's using their timeout, so you got yours.
Right.
Again, I think I'm not opposed, even on 3rd down, you may be thinking they're going to put it in the air. I think sometimes teams get down here, they don't have a lot of success. We try to force it in the air. Remember, they're without Taquan Roberson. You got Garrett Gray in there, Gunnar Gray, excuse me. So he certainly can make the throws, but I don't think you abandon the run here. Maybe continue to work it downhill. L.J. Henderson's going to be in there, back there with Gunnar Gray in the backfield.
123 yards passing tonight for Gray. 3rd and goal. They run it with Henderson. And Henderson, he is stonewalled. No gain. It's 4th and goal from the 5-yard line.
No, the
Charge timeout. UConn.
UConn defense responded, but it's just, you know, listen, I'm not upset at the call. We've talked about they've had consistency, they've had success there. That Huskies defensive line just doesn't give any ground. You know, it's an interesting dynamic because in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking, all right, the run-pass option, but do you put a true freshman in this situation, especially when he hasn't thrown the ball? So you got to go ahead and stick with your senior, Gray. But obviously, accuracy at times, especially on the move, maybe not his strength. You know, UConn is going to certainly know where number 0 is. He's going to be to Gray's left.
This is for the game. Buffalo looking for the equalizer. 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Just over a minute left. UConn brings a blitzer. Underneath. It's a walk-in for Henderson. And Buffalo's a point away from tying the game with 59 seconds to play. First receiving touchdown of the season for Al-Jay Henderson. And UConn is out of timeouts with 59 seconds to go. Point after, it's good. We are tied at 17. A minute left.
They brought pressure, but they slip Al-Jay Henderson out. And there was space underneath as the receivers clear that. And Henderson's able to get in there. And UConn defense made Buffalo work for it, but they got it done. But you mentioned UConn being out of timeouts, but I think they played that well because it's a little easier to control the clock when you're on offense, and they've given themselves at least a minute to work with here. Again, we talked about obviously not ideal in that situation when they were at about 50, decided to go for the fake field goal, i.e. punt. But their kicker has hit from 53, so you don't need to get all the way down the field. And UConn obviously no stranger to overtime games. They've been in a few this year.
UConn's last 3 games have been decided by 7 or less points. This one, no different. That scoring drive for Buffalo, 9 plays, 57 yards. And the Bulls will kick it deep out of the back of the end zone. No time off the clock. 1st and 10, UConn from its 25-yard line, tied at 17. Joe Fignano, the quarterback, has only attempted 23 passes, but he's hit at a 61% clip. He has a touchdown, no interceptions, 106 yards passing.
Their playmaker, Skylar Bell, is going to be to his left. Obviously, Buffalo smartly is going to cheat some safety help over to that side.
On 1st down, Fignano off the fingertips of Bell. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 with 54 seconds to play.
A little off target, not surprising, trying to find Bell there.
UConn has already played in 2 overtime games this season.
Both resulting in losses, though.
Buffalo crowds the line. Fignano on 2nd down, feels the heat, gets rid of it underneath to Bell, darts out of bounds after a gain of a couple. .49 seconds left, 3rd down and 7. UConn 3 for 11 on 3rd downs.
Obviously, too, with the way this is going, you see here what they can do on 3rd down. But if this is an incompletion or something, Buffalo with 2 timeouts may be in a position to potentially do something late here.
Fignano climbing the pocket. It's reeled in by his tight end, Vereen. He dropped one earlier. He outmuscles 2 defenders to bring that one in. 1st down throw out to the 42.
Yeah, Juice Vereen, 2023 4-star signed with NC State. He could be a receiving weapon. Have not been able to hook up to this point. They've tried a few times, but they are a clutch catch by the talented tight end as a UConn O-lineman is down.
Redemption for Vereen, who is questionable with an injury coming into this one. UConn's offensive lineman, I believe that's their left tackle. It's way back at the 16-yard line. And it's Ben Morawski. A towering 6'7", 335-pound left tackle. A multi-year starter. 1st and 10 UConn. As they bring in Torian Johnson on the left side. Fignano, a twist up front. Checks it down to Edwards. Edwards ahead for a first down. So quick, so shifty. They're down to the Buffalo 46 with a half-minute to go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're running there after the catch. Give him the first down, buy him a few seconds.
Fignano on a rollout. They're tracking him down, and he gets rid of it.
Smart.
Chased down by Murdoch.
Yeah, it was smart by Fignano to get out there. There's nothing there. Now's not the time to start scrambling around and try to create something. Got rid of it.
.26 seconds to play. 2nd down and 10. Fignano chucks it. Bell dropped it. It's a fumble. He made a football move. And it's recovered by the Huskies. UConn dodges a bullet.
Again, a UConn team and a UConn team. Cam Edwards coming from the backfield that doesn't put the ball on the ground in a crucial spot there, but effort play by Edwards.
Fignano spikes it. They stop the clock with 17 seconds to go.
Replay, the previous play is under review.
Getting it to Bell as he. Tough to tell from that angle. I'm with you though. It looked like he had kind of made a move initially, and I mean, listen. That's a completion and a fumble. It's rare for UConn. And it would have been horrible timing for a team that has no turnovers on the year to have it come at that point. But I mean, Edwards, wow, what effort to get down. Bell, yeah. Did he tuck it away? Look, he definitely brought it into his body.
Let's see, can we slow it down? .17 seconds to go, tied at 17. UConn needs the play to be upheld, the review to be upheld, because that would put the football at the 29.
Yeah, just never cleanly has it. He brings it into his body, but as he is, it's continuing just to kind of squirm around. And I'm with you. In the moment there, it kind of looked like you saw him bring it into his body and turn.
The runner never, the receiver never maintained control of the ball. Therefore, we have an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 10. Please set the game clock to 22 seconds. Thank you.
When you slow it down and see it in slow motion, you can see then that he never had control of the football. So it's 3rd and 10.
Well, the good news is you get a couple of seconds back. The bad news is you lose a big chunk of yards.
That would have put UConn in field goal range for their kicker, Chris Freeman. 3rd and 10. .22 seconds to go. No timeouts for UConn. Fignano drops straight back. He's got his man. Reeled in by John Nider. Down to 16 seconds. They're at the 32-yard line. Fignano spikes it to stop the clock at 15 seconds. Now this would be a 49-yard field goal try. That would be on the high end of Chris Freeman's career long when he was at Indiana.
Yeah, nice job up front, allowing time. He's able to kind of go through his reads, and he finds Nider, who's past the first down, just steps into that throw. Accuracy always hasn't been a strength, but they're doing a nice job with his mechanics stepping into it.
UConn has no more timeouts. Fignano working the sideline. Bell gets out of bounds.
Well executed there. Obviously, when in doubt, you got to work the sidelines. You find your playmaker, Bell. Good route. Another nice throw there from Fignano.
Stops the clock with 11 seconds to go. I'd kick it now, and here they come. Freeman trots out. They will try the field goal. This will be a 43-yard try.
Guarantee you he's going to try it this time.
44-yard attempt officially. And Buffalo burns one of their 2 timeouts to try and ice the kicker.
Buffalo. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, the last time UConn lined up for a field goal, they fake field goal. They punted the ball.
I think you could take that off the table here. But listen, that's been an outstanding job. And a great job by UConn. Again, they've been in 2 overtime games this year. Both have been losses. This is a program. Jim Moore has done a great job. UConn's ultimate goal is to try to find a home in a Power 4 conference. You got to be able to finish if you kind of want to put that resume together. And a lot of chances there, even with the incompletion there, Skylar Bell for this offense. You see Murkowski, the left tackle, he's still on in. There were reasons here on this drive for UConn to fold. They didn't. Some real nice throws from Fignano. Now, where I think you would say Buffalo has won the special teams battle on the day. Can UConn here on this field goal attempt ultimately take the most important special teams play?
The potential game winner. It's airborne, and it is good. A 44-yard field goal from Chris Freeman. And with 6 seconds left, UConn has a 20-17 lead.
Here gets it down and right through it. Nice job. You know, as soon as we showed that, we showed a picture of Jim Moore, and I think there's a lot of things to celebrate on that drive. I think you got to go back to the way he used his timeouts on that last Buffalo drive as well. He got rid of them. He knew Buffalo very likely would score, even though they got into a 4th down. He gave his team, he gave his offense enough time to play that 2-minute offense and put themselves in a position to get down there and attempt that field goal. So I think UConn, from the offensive execution to the way that Jim Moore handled that last defensive possession, kind of all blended together very well, James.
Flawless clock management. And give Buffalo credit. They had a drive that they got the ball last with 3:52 to go, and they milked a lot of time off that clock. Got in the end zone, tied it. But then UConn's 1-minute offense, they get in field goal range and they boot through a 44-yarder. 6 seconds left. They squib the ensuing kick. And Buffalo drops to a knee at the 23. 4 seconds on the stadium clock.
Well, started today without their starting quarterback. Gunnar Gray in there at quarterback. One thing about Gray, though, he's got a strong arm.
Snow, McMillan. Clax has played a lot at receiver. Henderson will be in the game at tailback. Last play of the game. UConn has everybody deep. Clax. There's the first lateral. Bounces off the helmet of Snow. Has to put out the fire, losing his balance, and UConn has held on. 20-17 Huskies. What a finish here in Buffalo.
Usually today, it was Buffalo answering when UConn would score, but when it mattered most here at the end, UConn able to put together an outstanding drive there late at the game. Some great throws there from Fignano. And a nice job again. This is a UConn team that had been in 2 overtime games earlier, didn't want to go there, both of those losses. And well executed towards the end of that game, and the use of their timeouts on their last defensive drive to the way they operated down the field. And then Chris Freeman with the big kick.
This was a one-possession game for the full 4 quarters. Nobody led ever by more than a touchdown. It was 7-all at the half. UConn with a 44-yard field goal to win it 20-17. So, for Craig Hobart, I'm James Westling saying so long from UB Stadium in Buffalo, where the final score is UConn 20, Buffalo 17. A reminder that all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. You've been watching a presentation of ESPN.